Hi, everybody. Welcome to Spiritual Growth Journeys. I'm Kimberly Palm, and I'm here today with a very important message and teaching for you all. Let me fix my camera a little here. I want to be in the center, not over on the side. Not very good with technology. Okay, I got to turn my volume down on my headset. So today I am actually here to teach you. Some of you will already know this information I'm going to be teaching you today. Most of you will not. This is very important information. The reason I am here teaching this to you today is, quote unquote, this is what Yeshua said himself out of his own mouth. He said, "It is time to lay the misinformation to rest." That is what he said. It is time to lay the misinformation to rest. So today I am here to talk with y'all about something that is called many different names on the internet by people in the New Age, spiritual, Gnostic, Christian communities, truther communities, whatever you want to call them. It has several names. The main name it's known by is the Order of the Blue Rose. And some people know it as the mystery schools. Some people know it as just the Order of the Rose. Some people know it as the Magdalene, Sisterhood of Magdalene, or something like that. But realistically, the original title of what we're talking about today, what it was called in its time and to this day by Yeshua and Mary Magdalene, or Miriam, is the Sisterhood of the Blue Rose. That is the official title of this that we're going to discuss. So there is lots of misinformation. Yeshua said we are going to lay this misinformation to rest. So this is not going to be a super popular subject with people who are involved in spreading the misinformation. They're not going to like it. If you are somebody who's involved in the misinformation and you don't like my message, feel free to not watch my videos. I don't really care. I'm not here to inflict my opinion upon anyone. I have my own opinion, my own beliefs, my own truth. You all need to research, go within, find your own truth, find your own opinion, have your own beliefs. I am not here to tell you what to believe or what to think. I am just here to share my personal knowledge, my beliefs, my faith, my spiritual information, my stories, my history, or her story, actually her story with you. And you will either resonate or not. So take what resonates and leave the rest behind. That's all I ask. If this message is triggering to you, I am sorry. I am not here to trigger anybody. I am just here to set the record straight, share the truth. For those of you who are new to my channel, who don't know my whole story, you can go to my website, spiritualgrowthjourneys.com, to learn more about me and who I am. You can read my book, Ascension 101, or my other book, my other two books. My books are all on my website. I've got the true story of Yeshua and Mary Magdalene, their actual life that actually happened, not what they've been telling you in religions. That is on my website under my books. It's the third book down. I've got my Ascension guidebook. It's a whole spiritual Bible guidebook to spirituality and the Ascension. And then my other book, which is The Fountain of Youth, it's a whole body, mind, spirit healing program. So if you don't have copies of my books, I highly recommend you check them out, because you're going to learn a lot of information. And most of the info in all of those books was information that came directly from Yeshua and Miriam. So for those that don't know me and know my story, basically last time I was in a physical human body was 2,000 years ago, walking with Yeshua, which is why my book is called Walking with Yeshua and Mary Magdalene. It is called that because I was there 2,000 years ago. In the time in between then and now, My higher self, I'm just a fractal. This Kimberly body is being operated by a fractal, a very small fractal, because my higher self is 12 density and is on the other side, or what we call heaven, because it's an Elohim angelic and a guardian to planet Earth. I am a guardian of this planet. I've been guarding this planet for thousands of years. Guard specific people that I'm assigned to. Last 2000 years, I've been busy protecting specific people. Some of the people are very dear friends of mine in this life that I'm incarnated in. I incarnated in with actually some of the people that I've been protecting. I have protected Native American tribes. I've protected pirates. I've protected famous authors who you all know. I've protected all kinds of people throughout history. I've been in a body, a physical body, 7 times on this earth. This is my 7th incarnation. And my last incarnation was with Yeshua and Mary Magdalene as an Essene and as a disciple and apostle of Yeshua's. Yes, there were female apostles, not just male. They weren't all men. A lot of them were women too. They've lied to you that they were all men, and they've also lied to you that there were only 12 apostles. There were actually 20 main apostles and 180 disciples. So there's that. The information I share about Yeshua comes partially from my memories from my past life, because I came into this life knowing who I am, what my background is, remembering not every bit of all my past lives, but a fairly good percent, enough of it to be able to use the information to teach and help people. I also have been speaking with Yeshua and also his mother, Miriam. First, I actually started communicating with her when I was a very little girl, and then with him and Miriam of Magdala. And I've been communicating and with them. They've been actually protecting me and watching over me since I was born in this lifetime. So they're my two main guides, Yeshua and Miriam. They are my two main guides. And the information I'm going to share with you today came from a 1.5 hour long or more conversation with them last night. Actually, I think I was talking with them for 2 hours. A lot of the info they gave me was personal, which I'm not going to share with you. It's about me and about my life and questions I asked about things I'm going through. But today I'm going to share with you, as Yeshua says, sometimes you'll hear me say Yeshua, sometimes Yeshua. It depends on how fast I'm talking or if I think about it. It's really pronounced Yeshua in Hebrew and Aramaic, but Yeshua is, if you're in a hurry, it kind of comes out that way. But as he said, it's time to lay the misinformation to rest. There's also an instruction at the end of this video for all of you of our message for all of you and for myself that they gave us at the end of this teaching, at the end of all this information. They gave you all instructions on what you are to be doing for the next 2 weeks. I will be discussing that at the end of this video. So stay tuned to find out what you need to be all doing over the next 2 weeks. Okay, so let's hop to it here. So basically there were a total, so there's this Order of the Blue Rose. It was formed by Hathor. It was actually created by Hathor in ancient Egyptian times. She was a goddess of ancient Egypt. And they want me to explain to you that Hathor, Mother Mary, Kuan Yin are all the same person. So basically there's what you call Divine Mother. And the Divine Mother has had many incarnations on this planet where it is incarnated as a way to express itself and to have experiences and to help the planet in a bodily form. And one of the incarnations of what's called Divine Mother was Hathor, one was Kuan Yin, and one was Mother Mary. Okay. Also, what they called green Tara, white Tara, the Tara aspect, the feminine aspect of the Buddha is also that same being. So Mother Mary, the Divine Feminine, Our Lady of Fatima, Our Lady of Lourdes, Our Lady of Guadalupe. It's all Our Lady of Medjugorje. What is it? Medjugorje or something. I can't pronounce it. It's the place that's over in Eastern Europe where she appeared, all these places where she's appeared. It's all the same being. Okay, so when she was incarnated in her form of Hathor on this earth, and that was thousands and thousands of years ago, she started the Order of the Blue Rose. Okay, now during the time of Yeshua, there were 110 women that were ordained into the Order of the Blue Rose. 70 of these women were initiated into this in the Holy Lands, mainly in Qumran, which is where the Essenes, that's their headquarters. They have Essene groups actually all over the world, but the headquarters were in Qumran. There was also a Essene group in Glastonbury, UK. There was an Essene group up in the Viking region, Norway, and up in the way up in the north. There was an Essene group in northern India. There were Essene groups in Africa. There were Essene groups all over. But there were 70 women initiated as a sister of the Blue Rose or Sisterhood of the Blue Rose in the Holy Lands. There was another 30 women who were initiated by Mary of Magdalene in southern France when she went there after Yeshua ascended into his light body. And then there was 10 others initiated by Mother Miriam, the mother of Yeshua, in Glastonbury, UK. So in Glastonbury, UK, there was 10 women initiated by Mother Mary. Mother Mary and St. Joseph of Arimathea died and were buried in Glastonbury. And there are others that were also buried there too, who you know of through biblical history. So let's talk about who these women were, because there's a lot of lies and a lot of misinformation. The first thing we're going to do is start with who started spreading the lies, because the first thing that Miriam said to me was, Kimberly, she said, Timothy, Stephen, and Mark are liars. Those were three of the apostles. She said they spread a whole bunch of false information about the Sisterhood of the Blue Rose and about Miriam. They said she was a whore and all kinds of awful things, which she never was. She was never a prostitute. She was never a whore. Her and Yeshua, if you read my book about them, they were married when she was quite young. I think she was, 16, 17, 18 years old at the most. She had not been sleeping around with men. That is not what she did. And he was her, he is her twin flame, her divine partner, her Hyros Gamos relationship partner, her soulmate. And they were married when she was young. She was never a prostitute. That was a lie made up by Timothy, Stephen, and Mark. Also, Paul and Peter were also very bad. And I asked them how many of the apostles were actually bad and what we call stuck in ego or stuck in power. They were power hungry. And there were 10 of them. So there were 20 apostles total. 15 were male, 5 were female. 10 of those apostles, and all of the males, not the females, these were all males, were spreading a lot of false information. They spread information that Miriam was a whore, and that's because they hated her, they despised her, and they were jealous of her because she was literally the head apostle, and Yeshua favored her over them because she was his wife. So of course he favored her over the other apostles. They did not like that. They didn't like that they had a close relationship because women were dirt back then. And to this day, in a lot of areas of the world, women are still dirt. So they spread lie after lie. And what she said to me is, she said, the history is all a lie. The history is all a lie. And we know that. I mean, that's why I wrote the book, why they had me. They asked me to write that book. Well, they asked me to write all 3 books that I've written, actually. I never had any intention of ever writing any books except for children's fairy tales. I made up stories for my little kids when they were little. Now they're in their 20s, but when they were children, I made up stories for them, and I was going to put those into books and publish them. Those were the only books I had ever intended to write. And when Yeshua popped into my room and told me to write, first, this was in 2011, he popped in and told me to write the Fountain of Youth book. Then in 2019, he popped in and told me to write Ascension 101. And then a year or 2 later, he popped in and told me to write the story about my soul family, which is all of them, from series B. And so I did, and I'm just following orders from the boss, as I would say. He doesn't like to be referred to as my boss. I always call him my boss because I'm here doing work for him and for her. Physically, since they cannot be here, I'm representing them and physically doing work along with a lot of other brothers and sisters that came here for that same reason. It's not just me, there's a whole huge group of us. And, I came here to bring back the truth, their truth, and to restore the Essene teachings and the Christed teachings to this planet. But history is all a lie. And so I wrote these books. So if you want to learn more, you can go to spiritualgrowthjourneys.com to the books page, and you'll see all 3 of them on there. 2 of them are on Amazon. One of them you can only get through me, and that's because it's way too controversial. So as far as the Order of the Blue Rose, number 1, you did not have to be a virgin to be in the Sisterhood or the Order of the Blue Rose, the Sisterhood Order of the Blue Rose. You had to be female. You had to sing the Marian songs in Aramaic. So we sang, and there is a famous spiritual singer who I've interviewed on my channel because she's also a dear friend of mine. I love her to pieces. And that is Stellar. Stellar is an amazing singer. She has tons of spiritual albums she's put out on Bandcamp and on YouTube videos and all over the place. You can listen to her music. You can buy her CDs. The Magdalene Codes was channeled through her from my beloved Miriam. She actually, every time Stellar is singing, Miriam is there singing with her, standing right behind her, singing through her, with her, and putting that info through her. And I'm going to talk to you a little bit more about Stellar in this video today because she's very special. And she's not just special to me, she's special to this planet. And so anyways, in order to be in the Order of the Blue Rose or the Sisterhood of the Blue Rose, you had to sing the Marian songs in Aramaic. That was one part. You were trained basically to be officially a temple priestess of the Essene people. So when we say temple, we're not talking about the Jewish temple or what we called the Hebrews. Back then they were called the Semitics or the Hebrews or the Israelites. They were not called Jews until the 1700s. There is no letter J in Hebrew or Aramaic to this day, so there is no word Jew. They were Hebrews, they were Semitics. Semitics also included the Arab people and a bunch of other peoples that lived in the Middle Eastern area of the United States. So that whole Middle Eastern area, the people were referred to as Semitics. The Hebrew Semitics were also included in that group of people that Miriam said lied about the history and everything, because I asked her who else lied, and she said the Semitics lied. So when she said the Semitics, she was referring to the people we now call Jews that were alive back then. They lied about what went on with the Essenes. They hated the Essenes because the Essenes were practicing stuff outside of their little box of of Judaism, which was a religion established by the dark, just like Christianity, just like Islam. I'm throwing all the religions under the bus. Okay, I'm not anti-Semitic, as they would say. I'm not anti-Jewish. I have great love for Jewish people. I have tons of friends that are Jewish, clients that are Jewish. Nothing at all against Jewish people. I am against organized religion, period. I'm against any organized religion because they were all created by the dark to control, manipulate, and enslave humans into the matrix. Okay. There was never supposed to be religion on planet Earth. It was supposed to be each person practicing spirituality and praying to God. And the Essenes were not a religion. The Essenes were a community, a culture, a people. They were a people, a group, a culture, a community, and they were spiritual practitioners. They were trained in everything from the order of Melchizedek to the ancient Egyptian mystery schools to the tantric practices, the yogic practices, the yogis from India. They learned all of that. They learned all the stuff from the Buddhist monks, and they studied the Buddha and Buddhism. They practice all of that, Zoroastrianism, all of it. And that is because Yeshua had an incarnation as Zoroaster. He was the one he was a magi. He was a Zoroastrian magi. And he is the one who inspired that religion. He had many incarnations before he became Yeshua the Christ. He had many Christed incarnations on this earth. Okay. So the Sisterhood of the Blue Rose, they were the temple priestesses in the Essene temple. They were trained in the art of alchemy and healing the people. They were trained to heal the people. And I shouldn't say they, I need to say we, because I am one of them. I am still a member of the Sisterhood of the Blue Rose. Everyone who was ordained and initiated as a Sister of the Blue Rose is still a Sister of the Blue Rose. We are still carrying that torch. We are still spreading those teachings. We are still here on earth now to bring all this information back to you all. I am still a sister in that order. So we had to sing, which is why I sing. I do a lot of toning and singing. You can go through my channel and find videos where I've been singing to you all to heal you, to give you healing, because we use our voice to heal people. That is the Marian songs. They're for healing. They're for lifting up your spirit and getting you closer to Creator and to Christ consciousness and your own divine higher self. That is what the Marian songs were. We were trained in ancient alchemy. We were trained in healing. We basically would, we had a lot of responsibility. So one of the biggest responsibilities was assisting the rabbis, who were the male teachers in the Essene temple that taught all of the Essene people. We were their assistants and partners in a way. And I don't mean partner like romantic partner. I mean like a business partner. We assisted them and we helped them in the temple, because in the Essene faith, women are not lower than men. Women are 100% equal to men. They just had different roles that they would do that were embodied the divine feminine. The males would do the more analytical roles. The divine feminine would do more of the creative roles. So we, of course, would do the singing. We would sing because that's a creative thing. We would take the Essene people. So one of the things that the Essenes did, so the Essenes were famous as healers in the Holy Land. They did healing on the other Hebrew people. The other thing that they did is they went into the community and into the towns and villages, and they would help the homeless and the poor street people. They would help them and they would give them healing. They would heal them of leprosy and all kinds of conditions. It wasn't just Yeshua that was healing people. Essenes also did healing. So one of the jobs that we had as sisters of the Blue Rose is to take the Essenes who went and did, so groups of Essenes would go out and do their missionary work and help the homeless and the poor. And when they came back in, they would need healing and clearing because they gave away a lot of their energy. So we would take them to the mikveh, which were the baths, the special consecrated spiritual baths, which are still used today in what we call the more conservative Judaism, like the Orthodox and Hasidic sects and the Kabbalah sects. They still use a mikveh. We would take them to the mikveh, to the waters, to the healing waters that were consecrated waters, and we would help them to receive healing and restore their energy that they had given away to the homeless and the poor people on the streets in Jerusalem and all over the Holy Lands. So that was one of our rules, was helping our people to receive healing. We also helped and assisted the rabbis who taught the Essenes. We were also trained in the ancient Egyptian mystery schools. Okay, we had all the training. Now, I want you to think of Harry Potter. In the Harry Potter movies, all the white wizards, all the good wizards were trained in the dark arts. They did not practice the dark arts. Only the warlocks and the dark witches would practice the dark arts. However, the wizards had to be trained in defending the dark arts. They had to take a class in defending the dark arts, and they had to learn about what were all the dark arts, what were all their spells. They had to learn the different curses and spells and magic that the dark ones used so they could fight against it and protect it. It is the same with the Sisterhood of the Rose and the Essenes. Not only were they trained in all of the light warrior stuff to be a light warrior, but they were also taught about things like sex magic. No Essene ever performed sex magic. Mary Magdalene, biggest lie spread by Paul and all those guys, the apostles. Biggest lie was that she was practicing sex magic. Miriam never practiced sex magic ever, 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 ever. And this is why. Her and Yeshua told me, Kimberly, sex magic is only used to put curses on people and to do dark magic spells. There is a completely different thing that the Essenes are trained in, and the Sisters of the Blue Rose are trained in, and the ancient Egyptian mystery schools train you in, and that is Tantra, or what we call divine hieros gamos relationships. Tantric sex is used in a hieros gamos, which is a divine soulmate relationship or a twin flame relationship. Not very many people on earth have a twin flame here, but usually you have what's called your divine partner or your soul partner. When you find your perfect soulmate, your divine hieros gamos partnership that's balanced, divine feminine, divine masculine with your partner, back then you would practice tantric sex. Tantra came from India. It was something the yogis taught. And what Tantra would do was it would raise up your Kundalini energy. It would open your chakras, heal and balance your chakras. And it would help raise your vibrational frequency, get you higher and closer to source, closer into fifth density consciousness level and higher realms. It would help you to be able to travel the multiverse. It could help you with meditation. It has so many benefits. If you go research Tantra, you will learn the many benefits. I highly recommend, if you're in a loving marriage or even partnership relationship, maybe you're not married, you're just living together, whatever. If you have a divine spiritual partner, you may want to research tantric sex. It is not dark arts. It is not dark magic. There's nothing dark about it. It is used for a loving, Christed, soul unioned couple to increase their kundalini, increase their energy, frequency, and vibration, raise them up higher levels of consciousness to get into higher levels of consciousness, blow open your third eye, connect with source, connect with your higher self, connect with your guides and angels. It does so much for you. So I highly recommend that you look into it if you have a willing partner, that you're in a loving, committed, wonderful relationship with. That is what Miriam and Yeshua were practicing. They did not do sex magic. And again, as they said, it is only used for casting spells and curses. That is what they use the sex magic for. Okay. Now, so they did learn the ancient Egyptian mystery schools and they learned about all of that stuff. There's a difference between learning everything and using things to do stuff with. You can learn about the light and learn about the dark, but if you are actually acting on the dark stuff and you're doing it, that is when it becomes bad. Okay. Muy malo. Very bad. I need to practice my Spanish because I'm going to Spain very soon in the coming future. So, okay. Let's see. I'm reading all my notes. I took so many pages of notes. A lot of it's for me personal, but I'm trying to go through this. So, let's see what's next. I want to make sure I covered these 2 pages fully with you. Okay. All right. Like I said, you did not have to be a virgin to be in the Sisterhood of the Rose. All right. The next thing you had to do is you had to take a vow. You had to take vows. Okay. And the first vow, you're going to love this because this is so beautiful that we had to take this beautiful vow, was to teach the Hebrew people, all the Hebrew people, not just the Essenes, but all the Hebrew people. We had to teach them how to love God and love each other, to love each other. The way I love you is what God would say. And I don't mean I, Kimberly, God. To love each other the way God loves you. That was our first vow. We had to teach the people to love each other, including ourselves. We had to do that. We had to vow to love one another the way God loves us. That was our first vow. We had other vows too, but I'm going over the main ones that are important here. We had to help the poor street people. We had to help the poor. We had to serve them. Okay, because service to others is a huge part of being a fifth density being in that high vibration, being here on the planet. You're supposed to be of service to humanity. So we took a vow to help the poor and the street people. Okay. The next vow was that we vowed to assist the rabbis in teaching, get this, not just teaching the Essene people their general teachings, but we had to vow to help teach the Hebrew people about Yeshua. We had to teach them about him. That was very important. The next vow that we took, let's see, was to heal people. It was all about healing people because we were here to heal. So the women, if you were part of the Sisterhood of the Rose, you were a healer. And so we had to vow to do healing work on people. All right. We had to also vow things that we would not do. What would we not do? Break the 10 commandments. That was one of them. Use dark magic. Use sex magic. We had a vow not to do the bad things. Okay. Not to lie, not to cheat, not to steal, not to commit adultery, not to murder, not to covet, not to be an egomaniac, all sorts of things. We had a vow to not do those things. You could not be in the Sisterhood of the Blue Rose and be an ego, service to self, narcissist. There were no narcissists allowed. You had to drop your ego. You had to vow to drop the ego. That was part of the vows. Okay. So those were the main vows, was to heal people, to teach, to be of service, all those things. Okay. So now people come to me all the time and they ask me, Kimberly, how do I get initiated into the Order of the Blue Rose or the Order of the Rose or the Sisterhood of the Rose? How do I get initiated into that? Well, might upset some of you, but unfortunately, not only can you not get initiated or ordained into that, you will never, ever be able to be initiated into that. Here's why. This is what Miriam said and Yeshua said. They said because it had its place and time on earth. Very simple answer. I asked, why can't we, why can't I go out and initiate people into this? Because it had its place and time on earth. Whoever was initiated, there were 110 women total. They've all returned except for Mother Mary and Mary Magdalene. They're obviously not here. Hathor is Mother Mary. She's not here. Isis is Miriam. She's not here. They're not here. Kuan Yin, all of them, all of those aspects are part of this order. All of the aspects of Divine Mother are part of the order. They're just telling me something. Thank you. So I asked them to be here with me, and they're here with me right now to help me in case I forget something. And one of the things I forgot to say is when we took the vow, we had to vow to be the embodiment or be the acting love or Christ in action part of Divine Mother on earth. We had to be Divine Mother in an embodiment, like embody that energy of Divine Mother, all of us, everyone who was part of the Sisterhood of the Rose. You had to embody what we call the aspects of Divine Mother. Okay, so there's that. Okay, all right. So nobody can be initiated in it. There were 110 women that were ordained, and that's not including Miriam and Mother Mary. Okay, we're talking about the ones that they ordained. I'm one of those 110. They are all in bodies right now. Several of them are my friends. One of them is Stellar Fairbairn, who is the one I told you about. And this is going to probably ruffle some feathers, and I don't give a flying heck. If you don't like it, if it's triggering you, then you probably are part of the problem, as they would say. So so here's the truth about this. On the internet, there are hundreds of women that are spiritual teachers, healers, whatnot in the spiritual and what we call New Ager community. There's a whole bunch of men too that are part of this movement that are saying that they're going to initiate you into the Order of the Blue Rose or the Sisterhood of the Blue Rose or the Order of the Rose or the Order of Mary Magdalene or the ancient mystery schools, yada yada yada. Those people and those websites have absolutely nothing at all to do with this Order of the Blue Rose that was the original Order of the Blue Rose. They have nothing to do with that. In order for that to be, all of those women, let's say I signed up right now and I'm you guys and I go sign up for one of those. If it was the real one, you would take all the vows I just told you. That would be part of it. And then you would go live in Qumran, which doesn't exist anymore. And you would go out on the street, minister to the poor, heal people, go around healing people, assist the rabbis and teachers, and do the singing. They would use their voice to sing and heal people. You would go out and you would do all those things. That is not possible. It had its place in time, as Yeshua and Miriam explained. That specific order was in that time period. It does not exist anymore. The women who were indoctrinated, or not indoctrinated, initiated into it, indoctrinated too, I guess, maybe, are still part of it and will always be part of it. You don't lose that initiation. It stays with you forever and ever and ever in the Akash. Okay. But that will never be repeated again because it had its time and place. It is done. Miriam has no intention. Hathor, Miriam, Mother Mary, Kuan Yin, none of them are going to initiate people into the Order of the Blue Rose again. So if you are seeing people on a website who are promoting that kind of stuff, that has no affiliation with what I am talking to you all about today, okay? I'm not telling you to not sign up for their little schools, their mystery schools, and their Magdalene schools. You can do it. Keep this in mind. A lot of those are not, I shouldn't say a lot. Some of those people, first of all, they made all that up. Okay. All of them who did that, they created their own little schools themselves. They came from them. It came from them, their own higher self, their own information. It did not come from Miriam. Okay. Miriam is not speaking through them, channeling through them, or speaking to any of those women who created those schools except for one, and that is Stellar. So Stellar Fairbairn, she has schools that she does. She has mystery schools and Magdalene schools and Sisterhood of the Rose kind of, she does that kind of stuff. All of the stuff that she does comes directly from Miriam of Magdala. The reason why is Stellar is one of Miriam's chosen representatives. I told you all before that there are 29 women on this earth who carry a fractal of Miriam of Magdala. Okay. It's actually am I allowed to tell them this? Can I tell them this? Okay, so I guess I can tell you this. So I am the 30th. Remember I said there were 30 who were initiated in the south of France. We are all here now. And yeah, I'm one of those people. So I am carrying there were 30 of her actual priestesses, and that were Miriam's priestesses. I am one of them. Stellar is one of them. We carry a fractal of Miriam. The other women who have her fractal do not offer those kind of workshops that I'm talking about. None of them have that yet. Maybe they will in the future, but they don't. Okay. The only person, Miriam told me, Kimberly, the only person right now who is teaching she said mine, meaning her, not me, my teachings, the sisterhood, whatever, the mystery schools, whatever, that comes directly from her, that came from her directly, is Stellar. Okay. So if you want to go and get schooling in those things and you want it to be one that came from Miriam, you need to do it through Stellar. Okay. I will put her website in the description here on this video so you can go to it, her information. I will put all her contact info that I can find on there for you. And she didn't ask me to share any of this info with you all. This was information that Yeshua and Miriam told me to share with you about Stellar. I actually contacted Stellar after I had the conversation with them last night for 2 hours, and I told Stellar what I was going to do with this video. I got her permission to talk about her because some people don't like to be talked about on videos. So I got her permission to talk about her. So it's not like she told me, "Oh, Kimberly, promote me." I am doing it from my heart of my free will, and because these two told me to discuss Stellar. So Miriam works through Stellar. Miriam sings through Stellar. Miriam downloads music through Stellar. She works with her 24/7 all the time, just constantly working with her. The other people who have those schools, I'm not telling you not to sign up with their schools. I'm just telling you that those schools came from them. It might have come, and if they make a claim that they are coming from Miriam, they are channeling entities who are tricksters or holographic entities pretending to be her. They are not really her. Okay, they're not really her. Because the ones who are really, because if it was really her, the only person she's giving that information to right now at this time and space and place on earth is Stellar. Okay. In the future, there will be more people teaching her teachings. Okay. It won't just be Stellar, because when the rest of the world wakes up, Stellar and myself and some of the other people who do this work, we cannot serve billions of people. We need more clones of us, duplicates of us. So other people will be initiated in a way or whatever to bring back the teachings, the Christed Essene teachings, but those are going to be the 190 or 180 Essenes that are reincarnated right now to for that purpose. We will all be going out and doing this teaching, but for right now, the only person doing the schooling that is from her, specifically from Miriam, the only person is Stellar. Okay. The other people, if they're telling you that she's channeling those schools through them, that's her schools, they are either lying, they are being deceived by tricksters, they are mind controlled, they themselves are who knows what. I don't even want to say. I'm not even going to say. But that is the fact. And some people may not like what I'm saying, and I don't really give a flying fuck if you like what I'm saying or not. This is my channel, and I have the right to express my opinion, my beliefs, my feelings on my channel. If you don't like it, you can pound sand and go anywhere else. I don't care. Okay. Let's see. Trying to think what else I want to tell you all about that. I think that's it, actually. I think that's about it. So now I want to get down to the message that I got for all of you of what you're supposed to be doing and I'm supposed to be doing and what is coming. So as he keeps saying in our language, he said in your language, the shit's going to hit the fan. He keeps warning it's coming soon. Between now and the end of this year, shit is getting real, people. Okay. You're watching all of the things going on the TV. I'm not even going to mention them on YouTube because they will shut my channel down if I even say what they are. I don't need to tell you what all has been going. Certain people resigning, certain people almost getting taken out, on and on and on. Luciferian satanic rituals being performed right on the television at certain events, right in front of your face, concerts and all sorts of events, a specific athletic event, with a ritual going on, that, by the way, was not created, ordained, or agreed to by France or the French people. It wasn't them that did that. It was the guys that do the OLYMPIC, COMMITTEE, those guys. They're the ones who did that. Okay. I'm spelling that out because I don't want my video removed. So any of that, all of these things, it's just going to keep ramping up and getting worse and worse and worse. Myself and several of my friends are all being made sick and targeted with negative energy things that they're using. They're using really low sound frequencies that they're sending to us from I guess, caverns or something under the earth. They know who all the light workers are, like every one of us on this planet. They know about the 144,000 and all the others in addition to the 144,000. They know who we are, they know where we are, where we live, and we're being targeted with low frequency sound devices. And I think a lot of it is tied into the 5G, because this all started for me when they launched the 5G. That's when I started to hear the low frequency sounds. One of my BFFs confirmed it to me today because she started sensing it and feeling it, and it's been making her sick. They're ramping up their attacks on everyone, and the reason they're ramping up their attacks is because they are about to get snuffed out of this planet for good. They are not happy about that, so they are going to keep attacking whoever they can until they're taken off the earth. That's going to be happening in the next coming months. So what how do you want to say, what Yeshua has asked, because I asked him what they want me to do. And they said that myself and all of you, if you can please help me, I need your help. I can't do this alone, because where two or more are gathered, remember that with your intention and your prayer, then things happen. They want me and all of you every single day, once a day. It's going to take you one time a day. Okay. Every day. I don't care if you do it when you're on the toilet, in the shower, washing dishes, whatever, sitting in your room, meditating. You need to sit and pray for this entire earth, the planet herself, for healing, protection, purification, for Christ consciousness to return. Pray for, for all the darkness to be cleared away. You need to pray for all the humans, all the animals, all the creatures, the birds, the bees, all of it, the sea creatures. Literally systematically go through the whole list and pray for everything. What are we praying for? For love, for peace, for unity consciousness, for Christ consciousness to be restored to this planet, for healing for everyone and everything, including the earth herself. Complete restoration and healing of this planet. So we need to be sitting and saying a prayer once a day for the next 2 weeks. Why 2 weeks? Because at the end of the 2 weeks, or maybe even before the end of the 2 weeks, some serious shit will be hitting the fan. Stuff's going to be going down, and you're going to feel pretty bad if you hadn't been doing this praying for the next 2 weeks. So you need to do it so that when the stuff hits the fan, you're not sitting there going, gosh, I wish I could have done more to help with this. What could I have done to help? Well, what you can do it right now already, is pray, 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 pray. Prayer is my superpower. In fact, my BFF sister, Sarah Nash, created a shirt a long time ago that said, prayer is my superpower. I think when I was gone away on vacation, at one of my vacations, I left the shirt or lost it because I can't find it. It might have been when I moved. I don't know. Moved 400 miles, probably lost it then, but I lost the shirt at some point. But I used to have a shirt that said, prayer is my superpower, because prayer is my superpower. So, if you all would please join me every day, once a day, it's all I ask. This could take you a minute, 30 seconds, 5 minutes. Today I was praying for a full 15 minutes, and I prayed with my cat because I didn't have another person to sit and pray with. And she is a sentient conscious being. And so I asked her to pray with me, and she did. She let me hold her paw, and we prayed together. So pray with your animals, pray with your family, pray with your friends, get together in groups and pray for this planet, and do it with fierce, unconditional love in your heart. Fierce, unconditional love. I need every single one of you from this point forward, because the road's going to start to go from this to boing, 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 boing. It's just going to be a total psycho roller coaster. Think about the worst roller coaster ride you've ever seen or been on steroids. That's what we're heading into. All the systems are going to fall. Warren Buffett just pulled 3 billion or something out of Bank of America. Also, who was it? Somebody else just pulled their money out of Bank of America. That's a pretty big deal. The financial market's about to hit the fan. The more and more is coming out about the jabbery doodle things, these things. The hokey pokey wokies. Yeah, the woke hokey pokies. I'm going to call them the woke hokey pokies. More and more truth is coming out about all this. It's going to just ramp up and ramp up and ramp up. You're going to see more attempted bad events happening. You're going to see them trying to do different bad things, like we've already been seeing. It's going to happen more and more. God, sorry, shocking. Like, it felt like somebody was jabbing a needle in me. I'm okay. We're going to have to deal with that. That's somebody trying to send little attacks. Those little attacks, they're going to get their butt kicked. Okay, so psychic needles be gone, psychic arrows be gone. That's all I have to say. We are heading into the worst and the best part of history that any human has experienced since the fall of Atlantis. This is going to be the worst of times and the best of times. Okay. Things are going to just get awful, but they're also going to get better, because in order for it to get better, it has to get really awful. So, what can you do? Place protection around you, your home, and your family every day. You can ask Archangel Michael and your guardian angels to assist with that. You can ask Mother, Father, God, Abwun, Abba, Abwun, to help you. Divine Mother, Sophia, she'll help you. Shekinah, she'll help you. Call them in, ask for the protection, place it all around you every single day and night. And whenever you can pray every single day. I want you to be a fierce, unconditional, loving warrior right now. Okay, we all have to do that. We have to have fierce, unconditional love and be a light warrior, because the shit is going to be hitting the fan worse and worse and worse. Eventually, it's all going to go down. And if you want to learn about the 3 days of darkness, you can see my link below to my sister Michaela, Medium Michaela's channel. If you want to learn more directly from Yeshua, if you want to learn his teachings directly out of his mouth, you can follow Michaela, Medium Michaela, with Christ Phoenix Rising, and you can follow my sister, my soul sister, Katrina, at Red Mountain Shaman. And both of them, both channel Yeshua and Miriam and other beings of light and love. And you can get the messages and stuff right from them. You can get sermons. You can get all kinds of sermons directly from Yeshua speaking through Michaela. I have their links below. Please follow their channels. And I love you all. I'm wishing you safety, love, health, joy, happiness, and all good things, especially an abundance of prosperity and goodness always. See you next time. Oh, one other thing. Facebook is trying to shut me down. So make sure you're subscribed to my website, Spiritual Girl Journeys. Make sure you go in. There's a form on the bottom, I think, of the website, or you can sign up for my newsletter. Make sure you do that. Also, connect with me on Telegram. I believe it's Kimberly Palm 17 on Telegram. Go in and get on my Telegram, and also follow my Rumble channel, which is in the description below, because I have YouTube and Facebook trying to mess with me all the time. And I'm not sure when or if they will be shutting me down at any time. So please make sure that you have other ways that you keep in touch with me and get my information. See you all next time.